Alright, I wanted to do this video on preparedness and different types of preparedness. And there's a term preppers, but that doesn't really cover whether it's hoarding or survivalism or anything like that. So my point was that you need all those skills. And so I want to talk about that and some of the different scenarios that you might want to prepare for, because we don't know what the future will bring. And I want to talk a little bit about what I've been working on lately and some of the things that I've accomplished so far. So what I've been working on recently is hunting, and improving my hunting skills, especially with archery, in addition to the fishing and gardening and animal husbandry that we've already been doing. So it's January, and at 7,000 feet I've been hunting, and the thing that was really important, of course, is my cold weather clothing. And if you're going to do some sort of a bug out scenario where you hit the woods, here it's cold 6 months out of the year. You have to really be prepared in the way of having winter clothing. So I'll show you what I put together as I was improving my hunting skills. And don't wait to be improving your hunting and fishing and gardening skills, because you need to be good at it when you need them. So let me show you what I put together anyways for dealing with the cold. First thing, I got some nice boots. After the first day that I went out, the next day I bought nice boots. And, some wool socks with the nice boots, and my feet were fine. And I keep all this in this my cold suit bag, I call it. And that way, if there's a situation where I need to just grab some things and run, I can just grab this and I'm all prepared for the cold. But I work from the feet up, and for my legs, I had some tight silk long underwear that were real tight, like a base layer, and then thermal long johns, long underwear. And then, of course, I'd be wearing some sort of pants, that'd be the third layer, and then snow pants. And I was fine in 0-degree weather sitting still. And it's much different if you're sitting still versus moving. Completely different. And especially if it's warm during the day and you sweat, then you can get cold. So you really got to watch things like that. The top, my shirts were kind of the same as the pants. Something tight, then something thermal, looser that would hold hot air, and then whatever shirt I was wearing, a sweater or whatever, and then a wool jacket. Wool is quiet, and has got a lot of other good properties to it. But you want to cover all the surfaces of your skin. I had a hat with a face mask, and then this one around my neck, kind of like a turtleneck. And then I had the gloves with the fingers exposed so that I could use my hands. And so that was what I was wearing, and it worked real well. So now I have it in this bag ready to grab if I need it. Because, like I said, we don't know what the future will bring, and you have these people that are, let's say, storing mass amounts of food, but what if you live at ground zero to the some sort of geological catastrophe, and you need to leave your 5 years of stored food? So that's just one way to be prepared, but I think we need to be prepared in different mobile ways. Let's say you had a few days to prepare and you could use a vehicle. Well then, if you have a pool camper, you can fill that up with everything you need, and that's one situation. Now let's say that the situation calls for being on foot. So now you have to carry what you need. The roads are blocked, let's say. You want to hit the woods. So that's completely different than staying and defending home base. Let's talk about that a little bit. If you have storage of food and storage of water, that's awesome. But also don't forget your seed bank and the fact that you're going to have to give off an image that you're really there and protecting what's there. Do night watches where maybe if every hour, whoever is around sees you patrolling the place with a flashlight, and so they know you're aware and keeping watch. Maybe you have a dog, that might not be a bad idea. Here's a little night watchman idea I thought I'd show you guys. You could just put a flashlight on a tomahawk, and that'll give a certain image, I guess. Velcro would probably be best, so you could take this off if you want to chop wood with it. I prefer sort of this version, the 6D mag light. Hold it on your shoulder and you can use it as a baton if you had to hit someone. But you know, I even had the idea that if there was some sort of a germ warfare situation or some sort of an outbreak, that you could even put fake quarantine signs on your place, so you're giving this you know, idea that might scare people off that you're contaminated or whatever. So let's talk about the hit the woods, helping to just hit the woods and grab your packs. So every member of our family has backpacks with all of the gear we would need to live in the woods. And here's another thing though that I want to mention is, what if you're in your vehicle and you're not able to get home to get your backpacks? So here's what I'm suggesting is, in your vehicles, have some sort of small packs, maybe just like backpack size packs, with some of the things you would need for a short amount of time. Let's say something occurred, you had to just take off on foot, you drove your car till the roads were blocked, and then you just take off on foot. You have something, a little bit, to get you established for a few days so you can get into a better place or situation. Maybe you can get home, or you are home, so you have your packs, everything you need to survive in the woods, and you know, the backpacker style pack with the you know, the internal frame, and you can load quite a few things in there. Everyone in the family should have one, and then of course if it's cold, everyone should have the cold suit pack. There's other packs that would be important too. Medical pack. And the medical pack, because let's say you have all of your you know, all of your first aid things in several boxes throughout your house. You need to have it all in one place so that if you need to grab it, you can grab it. And there's some things that you can get that are would be really helpful if you needed them. There's laceration packs that are like a big adhesive that sticks on, you know, horrible lacerations. Things for infection would be, you know, a crucial thing, but also, you know, just chafing and rashes and things that you might not even think of. Now, we were looking at the situation where you have to hit the woods immediately, just like run. Medical packs. If it's cold, cold suit. We talked about the situation where you have a few days and maybe you can take a vehicle. Or the situation where you're guarding your home base. In all those situations, water is going to be crucial. Now if you're talking about guarding your home base, you're talking about storing water. You know, how much you put a little bit of bleach in a large amount of water, and that's one way to preserve water. Then if you have leaving on foot, water filters would be important. You would, you know, you'd have to look at water as a very heavy thing to have to carry. But the other thing is, go to Google Maps and look at the ponds and water tanks and things like that in your area. So if you have to leave your house, you at least have a direction to head and a plan so that you can go and be near water, or at least cross water on your way to wherever you want to get going. Now, there's one more pack. We have it in a box, so I call it the catastrophe box. But one more pack or whatever that you might want to put together is for certain catastrophes. And so what I'm talking about there would be things like, I can't go through everything we have in this big box. I just want to throw out a few ideas that are important. Radiation pills. And if there was a nuclear event, and this is iodine, and it blocks the thyroid so that you don't get radiation poisoning. And the thing is for little kids, that's even more essential than for adults. And shortwave radio, let's say there was some sort of a germ or some sort of outbreak, gas masks. And know that the filters are different. You know, some of them can be for, you know, particles of radiation, like fallout, but others can be for chemicals like tear gas, and others can be for germ warfare and, you know, things like that. So know that there's the different filters, and you want to have a gas mask for everyone in your family. And, so you have the catastrophe situation, and that would require the catastrophe pack. You know, you could always take that with you in the car, take it with you on foot, depending on what the situation is. You need to be prepared for such a variety of situations because we don't know what the future will bring, and so you're not going to be sure that you can stay at home base with all of your supplies. If you are injured or sick or handicapped or elderly, your needs completely change. And you need to look at them and prepare for them, otherwise statistically you'd be the first to go. Now, I guess the last thing that I wanted to mention is to not be paranoid, but to try and make this somewhat of a hobby, you know, to make this more of a fun thing than a fear thing. And I think a lot of people don't want to talk to their children about these type things, but you can make it more of an interesting, fun adventure thing. Get out in the woods and practice these skills. I take my kids fishing, and I'll show you this real quick. Teeny little compound bow. So already my 9-year-old is working on their skills as a marksman with the bow. You know, now transition right into hunting if they need that skill. So have fun with your family and get out in the woods and do these things kind of as a hobby, and that might get you a little more motivated to start preparing in these different ways. So I hope you guys found this information helpful and might get you started in getting prepared and preparedness. Or if you already have been working on this, maybe I mentioned some things that you had overlooked. And the main thing is you have to be prepared for whatever the future might bring. And try and have fun doing it.